a state full of natural, cultural and economic riches, as well as a fraternal and friendly people. This is Pernambuco. Located in the northeast of Brazil, the state enjoys a privileged geographical position. With 2 international airports, it has become the gateway for the flow of tourists and is responsible for the distribution of cargo to countries of all continents. It is no accident that Pernambuco is the fastest growing state in the northeast. It possesses one of the largest consumer markets of the region and is in first place in regards to revenue. Its littoral zone, with about 200 kilometers of coastline, concentrates an endless variety of natural beauty and wealth and offers many opportunities. And in order to take advantage of this potential, the Suape port and industrial complex was installed, being the great stimulus behind the Pernambucan economy, with already more than 100 companies in operation and more than 20,000 direct jobs generated. In 2007 and in 2010, Suape was considered the best public port in Brazil. With deep waters and a strategic location in relation to the principal shipping routes, it is connected to more than 160 ports throughout the world. It has an area of 13,500 hectares with an onshore infrastructure of 40 kilometers of its own roadways and 32 kilometers of railways. In addition, it has a supply of natural gas, electrical energy, and treated and untreated water. But that is not the whole story. Great infrastructure works are being executed to serve the new enterprises that are arriving. 1,400 million reais are being invested in the construction of new piers, railways, roadways and dredging services, further improving the operational conditions of the complex. The construction of Wharf 5 in 2009 made it possible to implant a distribution center of imported vehicles from General Motors. Through Suape, the cars are distributed to the northeastern market. All these public investments offer the ideal conditions for the installation of the infrastructure projects that are going to provide growth and generate jobs. And they are going to be many. The Abreu y Lima refinery, with an estimated cost of more than $13 billion, will enter into operation in the first semester of 2013, with a capability of processing 230,000 barrels of oil per day, being the only one in the country designed to process heavy oil. In its operation, 1,500 direct jobs will be generated. In addition to the production of coke, naphtha, LPG and gasoline, the refinery will satisfy the majority of the demand for diesel oil in the northeast. The Atlântico Sul shipyard, with an investment of $1 billion, generates 5,000 direct jobs and 25,000 indirect ones. It is the biggest and most modern in the southern hemisphere. It is able to produce any type of ship or offshore platform. It has the capacity for processing 160,000 tons of steel per year, equivalent to the construction of 7 Suezmax ships. With investments of $2.3 billion, the petrochemical center of Suape is going to generate 1,800 direct jobs. The construction of the PTA, PET and polyester thread production units will boost the Northeast as a textile center. The inauguration of the biggest PET resin factory in the world, belonging to the Italian company Mossi & Ghisolfi, has provided the creation of the PET Plastic Preform Center. The wheat mill of Bungi Alimentos, launched in September of 2009, has the capacity to process 800,000 tons of wheat per year, providing more than 1,200 new job vacancies. Many other companies are continuously arriving at Suape. Between 2007 and 2010, the construction of 30 companies was begun, and a further 30 are about to begin their works in the most varied segments. Mechanical metallurgy, foods, grains, logistics, thermoelectricity, eolic energy add up to more than $3 billion in investments and generating 30,000 new direct jobs. Besides all these companies, 25 others are in the final phase of negotiation, among them being automobile assemblers, tires, car parts, paints, minerals and cellulose. Overall, these companies may invest more than $10 billion and generate almost 9,000 jobs. And all this growth is guided by a policy of environmental and social sustainability. 45% of Suape is considered to be an area of environmental preservation. There are more than 600 hectares of mangrove totally preserved. And to further expand its green area, Suape has a forestry nursery with a capacity for the annual production of 300,000 Atlantic forest seedlings. To insert the Pernambucan workers into the various productive chains, an extensive training program is being developed through partnerships involving Suape, the 5 cities of the strategic territory, and the Federation of Industries, Petrobras, and the Atlântico Sul shipyard. The discovery of a gigantic oil reserve in Brazil will boost the economy of the country. Situated between the states of Espírito Santo and Santa Catarina, the reserve is 800 kilometers in length by 200 in width and at a depth that varies between 5 and 6,000 meters below the water depth. The estimate indicates the discovery of 100 billion barrels of oil, one of the biggest reserves in the world, which placed the country among the 10 largest world producers. In order to have an idea of the size of the discovery, it is equivalent to more than 7 times the present reserves of oil and natural gas of Petrobras in Brazil. As can be seen, Brazil is discovering more oil and gas every day, and new ships, platforms, pipelines, refineries and petrochemical plants will be necessary, which shall be constructed in the country itself. As you can see, the whole world is looking towards Brazil. Brazil is one of the countries which most offer investment possibilities, with an economy which is increasingly solid and undergoing a period of genuine growth. Pernambuco is the fastest growing state in the northeast and is among those that are growing the most in Brazil. And it is in this context that the Suape port and industrial complex, with its privileged location and complete infrastructure, presents itself as the best option for new investors. Starting with the Suape Global Project, the state is transforming itself into an important hub for providing equipment and services to the oil, gas, offshore and shipping industries. It is a deep water port with areas available for any type of enterprise, an extensive labor training program, and an efficient program of research and development coupled with a differentiated policy of tax incentives. At the state level, reduction of 75% in ICMS service tax. At the federal level, reductions of 75% in income tax. In addition to all of this, funding guaranteed by federal banks, BNDES, BNB, and a great project of insertion into the global economy. In order for your company to expand its activities even more and increase its productive capacity, it needs to get to know the strength of the state of Pernambuco and all the potential of the Suape port and industrial complex.